Hi, and welcome to Weeb Paradise, your double daily dose of anime movie recap. On today's recap, we are going to talk about Whisper of the Heart, a 1995 Japanese animated musical coming-of-age romantic drama film directed by Yoshifumi Kondo and based on the 1989 manga of the same name. Be careful, this video contains spoilers, so if you are not ready, get ready. The movie begins with a junior high school student named Shizuku Tsukishima. She is living with her father, mother, and sister in a small flat. Her father is a librarian. When she returns from an appointment at the shop, her father discusses how they're upgrading their checkout system so that the checkout cards at the front of the books would not become outdated. Shizuku goes to read a book she borrowed, and her attention is caught by the name Seiji Yamasawa on the card. When she goes through her other library books, she notices that his name is also on their cards. Shizuku gets up early the next day and goes to school. Shizuku convinces one of her instructors to let her borrow a book from the school library because the public library does not have a copy. She finds a commitment within the book that includes the name Yamasawa as she looks through it. Yuko, her friend, comes as she is thinking about this, and the two start talking to each other. Shizuku has been working on a translation of a popular American song. Shizuku thinks it's too odd to sing, but Yuko enjoys it. She also tells them about a copy she made called Concrete Roads, whose lyrics they both love. Yuko becomes serious after a while and silently confesses that she received a love letter, but her thoughts are mixed because she truly likes a boy named Sujimura. Her friend knows him as well. Shizuku then follows Yuko to her cram school sessions, but she discovers that she has forgotten the book she checked out at school. When she returns to where she was sitting, she notices a boy reading it. He noted her name, told her that Concrete Roads need some updating. Shizuku gets upset on listening to the criticism of her riding the entire return journey. Her elder sister returns from visiting relatives later that day and starts to criticize Shizuku even more. The next day, Shizuku goes to see her father at the library where he works. Her sister also prepares a meal for her to bring to him. Shizuku is dumbstruck to see a big cat join the train as she boards. Surprisingly, she follows it out of the woods and into the city. The cat brings her to a little shop in a quiet area after some time. When she walks into the shop, Shiro Nishi, the owner, greets her. He then shows her a grandfather clock he has been fixing after noticing her enjoying a sculpture of a human-looking cat in a suit. Shizuku, however, realizes how late it is and rushes to the library, but is happy to have discovered this lovely small store. She discovers she left her father's lunch in the shop when she arrives at the library. However, the man she met earlier who had criticized her work reappears and hands it over to her. Shizuku gets even angrier when he jokes about her work and leaves her singing and her written song. After some time, Shizuku's school begins. Sujimura comes during a break while Shizuku is discussing with Yuko, and Shizuku suggests that the two should work together. Yuko gets angry and takes Shizuku away from her. Shizuku walks to the teacher's lounge, still interested in the dedication in the book she borrowed, where she finds that it was donated by a Mr. Amasawa, who also has a son who attends the school. Shizuku runs from the room, thinking that the boy she saw is Mr. Amasawa's son in some way. She and Yuko walk by the boy again on their way to lunch, who passes without saying anything. This appears to bother Shizuku. At lunch, Yuko conveys the news to two of their classmates and a teacher, and the girls insult Shizuku. She flatly denies having affection for the boy and refuses to display her newest translation work until the girls apologize. Shizuku goes by the small store on her way home from school, but it was closed. She gets a call later that night from Yuko, whom she meets at a local park. After meeting with Sujimura, who was conveying a message from another boy about asking her out, Yuko is in tears. She gets so furious that she chooses not to attend school the next day because it was Sujimura who made these requests. The next day at school, Sujimura and Shizuku meet up and talk about what happened. Sujimura is confused as to what he did to cause Yuko to leave and cry. She taunts him for failing to notice Yuko's affections for him. Sujimura's shock is immediately reflected in Shizuku's when he confesses that he truly likes her. She told him that all she wants is to be friends with him. Later on, she boards the train and returns to the small store. She notices the cat, who sits next to her with her eyes closed. To take her mind off things, she starts talking to the cat. As she's doing so, the boy she saw the day before comes and starts talking with her. He tells her that he knows the cat, which he refers to as Moon. The cat, on the other hand, has no genuine owner, and he's heard that other people have given him their names. The man she saw the day before comes and starts talking with her. He then explains that his grandfather runs the small store, but is currently gone. He allows Shizuku to enter the business through the back door. Shizuku is surprised to discover the grandfather clock has vanished when she is brought to the main floor. He told her that his grandfather had just finished repairing it the day she missed her lunch. After that, the boy takes Shizuku to a workshop in the basement, where he may learn how to make violins. He confesses that he wants to make this his career, but that he isn't very good at it yet. The next day, Shizuku notices Yuko has returned to school, but there is a rumor that Shizuku was seen walking with a boy. Sujimura comes shortly after, telling Yuko that he will inform his buddy that she has declined his request. Yuko smiles as Sujimura walks away. When Seiji enters the room and asks to see Shizuku, the entire class bursts out laughing at her. She gets angry and drags Seiji up to the roof so they can talk. Seiji tells her that his father has agreed to let him go to Italy, and the two have an intimate chat in which Shizuku admits that she is starting to fall in love with him. The chat was spied on by some of her classmates, and she chases them away as soon as she notices, but she'll remain extremely silent for the rest of the day. She goes to Yuko's house later that evening to talk to her. Shizuku is upset for some reason. One is that, if Seiji travels to Italy, he will be gone for a long period, and she will not see him for a long time. Another reason is that she believes Seiji is working toward achieving a goal that she does not have. Shizuku then begins writing her narrative, talking with Seiji's grandfather, who praises her for her dedication. On one of her visits, he shows her a damaged rock that revealed gemstones within. This inspires Shizuku even more in her work, as she draws inspiration from gemstones in the Cat Baron statue. She catches up with Seiji again later, as he prepares to leave for Italy. Shizuku continues to work after they say their goodbyes. However, school starts to get in the way of Shizuku's goals, as she apparently does not have good results. Shizuku's father sits down with her to discuss after her mother is called to the school, and her sister sees the results of a mock quiz. Shizuku confesses that she is worried about her schoolwork, but she also understands the importance of doing all she can to improve herself. Her father expresses compassion and lets her continue her work. Shizuku finally completes the story she was writing for a long time, named Whisper of the Heart. She approaches Seiji's grandfather and asks him to read it and give her his opinion on the manuscript. She gets nervous when he finishes it and admits that it isn't perfect. He does say, though, that while it was not great, she can still improve it. She breaks down in tears as she reveals that she feels so far behind Seiji in completing something due to tiredness and the knowledge that it isn't perfect. Seiji's grandfather notices her love for his grandson and takes her to dinner to help her relax. Seiji's grandfather informs Shizuku after dinner that her story had several fascinating details, including the fact that the Baron had a wife. The Cat Baron statue has a partner in real life. While residing in Europe, he discovered the two sculptures, but the Baron's wife was being repaired at the time. Seiji's grandfather then planned to steal the Baron's statue, with his lover at the time joining him later on in bringing the Baron's wife. Unfortunately, he never saw her nor the Baron's wife again, because war was raging at the time. Shizuku is handed the chipped rock with the sapphire's core as a present before she goes. Shizuku wakes up quite early the next morning to discover Seiji waiting outside. She hurries down to greet him and climbs aboard his bicycle, which he rides her to a secret location. They arrive just in time to witness the sun rising over the hills when they arrive on a hillside. Seiji then expresses his genuine sentiments, saying he is willing to wait for Shizuku if she is willing to wait for him. He embraces her and declares his love for her, one she accepts, bringing our movie to an end. 2 anime recaps per day. One early in the morning to wake you up, and one mid-afternoon to take a break after your work. That's my motto for this channel, so I am counting on you to subscribe and press the bell icon. And if you want me to recap a specific movie, let me know in the comments, I'll make sure to satisfy you. Have a great week, and see you next time, nerds.